We're going to call the meeting. And everyone is present. Audience of citizens, we do not have one tonight. So did everybody get a chance to read the minutes of the previous meeting? Yes? Yeah. So I'll entertain a motion to accept them as read. Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Okay. Steve, your report?
No, he said he was going to check his schedule about getting to this meeting, but he was going to get back from you, so I'm assuming they couldn't make it, but we did receive their documents, so all the update I have.
That's this Mark?
Yes.
Okay, maybe he can make our next meeting.
The queue has been pulled, so we don't use it. We'll just close out at the end of the fiscal year. Okay, public grounds report. Let's start with I expressed to you guys I was not happy with the landscaper's job that he did in the month of May. He submitted his bill for the full amount of money. I sent him back, and that's absolutely not going to happen. So he reduced his bill for cemeteries that were not already taken care of twice in the month of May, like he should have. So that's good to go. And he was in 13th, and he did every single one of them. So they all seem to be good. We all saw how bad ledge looked at the beginning part of the week. Wilcox was getting a little shabby, but he's been in. Those are all cleaned up. Let's go to Denison. On Tuesday, Wednesday, they went in and removed the fence for Denison. Started grubbing out the bank, and bringing topsoil in. The only part that they have left at Denison is to put some grass seed down and put some straw hay. That was paid for from you guys. We opened the PO up to site 1. So that's all taken care of for this topsoil grass seed. The brick fence was on scene a couple weeks ago. He has 170 feet, so he's going to start that fence and put a 10-foot gate in. And that's
170 feet, sir?
170 feet. I think that ends Dennis, as far as I can tell. He is still working on coming up with a price for the gate at ledge from his welder. He's just extremely busy. So that he's still thinking that's going to be right around $800. We're still waiting to hear back from him on that.
For ledge?
For ledge. No, yes, for ledge and both gates, $800.
Dunham, the gate that goes down to Potter's Field.
Yep. Where the cars can track.
Yeah. And a gate for ledge?
Because
are we going to have regular fence?
Ledge is going to have the new fence that he's going to put at Beckley and ledge.
Okay.
Is that you want an all black fence that we are across town?
Right.
He only has 170 feet. The fence that he
That's enough to do Dennis.
That's enough to do Dennis, and then he'll find the other.
Okay.
Once he comes down,
yeah.
Just to keep the billing in the budget and the auditors happy. We have to transfer $3,000 from contractual services to the fencing account. As long as you guys give that the blessing today, Kate will turn that in for us tomorrow, and then we'll be good to go.
We need that under a motion.
I would do it as a motion.
Okay.
I think that ends my report.
You want to explain those pictures?
Sure. So
let me back up. Dick and I walked over there 3 weeks ago when we saw how scraggly it is from the railroad tracks after where Steve's guys went in and trimmed everything and mowed everything. And Dick was able to use some of his old contacts at Amtrak, and they went out this morning and marked the edge of their right of way, which you can see in those pictures goes just about up to the tracks. So what Steve went in and took those pictures so everybody could see what they were. And after July 1st, with our new money, we're going to go in there and trim all that riffraff out of there. Maybe we can get the scouts to help us picking up the trash that's in there. People over the years have thrown all kinds of stuff in there. We can see how bad it is after they grub it out. It won't be that bad.
I don't think we have to eliminate any of the large trees.
No, not the large ones. No. we gotta, you know, say anything under 4 inches or something. Clean it out, but I mean, there's all kinds of ivy and junk in there, just junk. That'll clean it up. So plus there's gravestones in there. If you walk all the way down to the north side, because that's all I wanted to see where that boundary was, there's a huge stone in there. Family stone, the last person buried, I think, was 1912. And you don't even see it because it's all covered up with the high grass and the scrub. So
we're gonna have to trim this out.
Who?
We're gonna trim that out.
I think we should get a couple. My suggestion was let's try to get 2 or 3 quotes from a couple different companies. Even though Distinctive is the town's provider for tree care, it might be just a good idea.
Keep them honest?
No, just to get a different look. I mean, because it's a lot of handwork, it's a lot of machine work.
Yeah.
You know, it's coming in with probably something like a Bradco or a flail mower, trying to knock everything down.
Okay.
So whoever does the work, when they check it out, or
They can probably do it a little though.
yeah. So I mean, we don't have to have this house building, they will whoever trims.
No. Hopefully, yeah.
Okay.
Just an idea. If we have to go in there and pick up all what's left. You know,
Okay.
I found beer bottles, hubcaps, you know, stuff like that in there. That's been buried like that for years, probably.
Yeah. So the first picture that's here, I'm standing actually on the railroad track, and it's right at the crest of the mound. And if you drive down to the end of Ledge Cemetery, you'll notice there's 3 or 4 of these red tags. It's not Charlie's shirt. So this bear actually went out there and put them out there. But that's the end of the town property. So that's to give you an idea of how close it is. And then the other pictures are kind of just the same thing. But how overgrown everything is inside of it.
That's great. We're gonna keep those. We're gonna do it before and after.
Yeah.
I believe Kate has them saved. So
I
we should be
know,
good.
but I'll take any copies.
Just waiting for people in the cemetery to see the train go by too.
Right. And the good writers receive life zones.
And
Sure.
the razor glass would be for the bottom of your, whatever you're finding.
Okay, Steve, that's it, huh?
I think so.
Yeah, thank you. So under new business, he covered pretty much the fencing, what we're waiting for. So after next year, everything should be fenced, or after July 1st, everything should be starting to get fenced in for the year. So it'll be Ledge, Beckley, and Denison we can do right now. Now, Denison, I don't know if anybody had a chance to get in there after Distinctive was in there to trim everything, but the fence is destroyed all along that right of way and all around the back. Before we go fixing it, Dick and I were talking the other day, we should write a formal letter to the Worthington Fire District and explain to them how it's been almost a year and a half anyways, since we started. And they told us they were getting prices to trim it out, do this, do that, and nothing has happened. So I'll work on a letter and I'll email it to all you guys and approve it, you know, add, delete, whatever. And I'll get it to Kate and we can send it on the formal stationery from here.
Yep.
But we've been nice guys for a long time and they haven't done anything. That's not right.
Do we own the fence, or does they own the fence?
I would imagine that's our fence.
It's our fence.
Yeah, because it's the same thing on the north side of it too, or the west side. By the road. They took the front down. Because we got enough of the old fence of the ones we did at Christian Lane to be able to do that. So big enough gates for you guys to get equipment in there too, right?
Yep.
Have any of their trees damaged that fence?
Yes.
That's what all the damage was.
That's the cause of it.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that we'll put that in the letter
That's just for
also.
the letter.
Was that the old fence or the new fence?
The old,
It's the old fence.
there is no new fence.
And we would have removed the old fence prior to us doing all the landscaping this week. But if we remove the old fence, we're gonna have to clear their mess up on their property. And if I don't want to, after we went everything we went through for Whole Heart, I don't want to infringe on their property.
Plus, if we start that, the people that own the property next door are gonna say, hey, how come you're not taking care of mine? So we're not touching it. We're not touching it. We're just, like I said, I think it's time to put a formal letter together and say, hey, what are you doing?
Clean up your.
Please clean up. We want to clean up our cemetery.
Your right of way.
Yeah.
Or your, it's not an easement, it's their
Right.
property.
Right.
Their property. And repair our fence.
Well, I don't know if they'll repair our fence.
Well, their trees cause the damage.
We want to repair our fence.
Just don't want any more damage done to it in the future.
Right.
Because their stuff isn't cleaned up.
Right.
It's not like damage to fence.
And we'll see what happens.
Do something, right?
And we should send that to Mr. Pag.
We're going to send it right to
The chairman.
Right
of
there.
the commission.
Yep. We'll adjust it to the chairman and commission members. Yep. And we'll take your list, how you got it chronographic. Let's say on this date, we call this date, we did this date, this date, this date.
5-page report.
I don't care. I know how to type.
Or we can go to the meeting directly, hand them the letter,
If they'll let us, yeah.
public meeting,
Okay. We'll do that.
double down.
Okay. I don't know about that.
Me either.
We've been very nice to them.
More than
Patient.
that's exactly right.
Okay, trimming trees. We're in good shape pretty much. Steve guys is that distinctive, and plus his guys going around. I mean, once we get this ledge right away by the railroad tracks trimmed out, we're probably in pretty good shape as far as the trimming part.
Woody, what can we do maintenance wise to slow the growth of Beckley and Denison along the river? That's starting to become pretty tall again.
There's nothing we can do. That's the problem with that, is once it starts going, it's gonna go.
Well, a lot of that is those flowers that they planted too.
And they'll continue to grow, but the wildflower's only gonna bloom for a certain period of time.
Yeah.
Right.
Once now we're gonna start getting, you'll start getting the suckers back sooner or later from the saplings that are gonna fall off the trees.
But you gotta have something there so the bank doesn't erode too.
Yeah. But if we don't catch it early enough, it's gonna become more expensive. We're gonna need bigger equipment.
Yep.
You guys are gonna be repelling down the mountainside again,
Right.
Well, what would be the best time to tackle that? The fall? After they stop growing?
Knock it down. I would think so. Well, in the fall, it's gonna die. You have to do something like this, you do something halfway through the summer to try to keep it at bay for the remainder of the season.
Okay, we'll look into that and see what you can go back with.
Maybe put bid of the bid the same. Get us up by the railroad.
Oh, Camel's back, ledge.
Sort of be the same kind of work. Right?
Yeah, the guys who like distinctive won't weed whack them. So we have to find a landscaper or somebody who's going to job that.
All right, well, let's look into that.
Okay.
Next on there is the budget for mowing. Public grounds.
That is what he had mentioned.
Yeah.
So, in frame money,
No, that was for fencing. He's thought the budget, the contract is up in October, November?
Yep, so the
oh,
budget,
but
For mowing, yeah.
so the budget for mowing is what I'd like to start to look at is the last couple of years, and I know you had mentioned that in a couple of years from now, we're going to have $25,000 in contractual services. We might not use all of that up moving forward as we knock off these projects after projects after projects. So what I was going to propose is when we go out to bid this year for the mowing contract, we separate the town's portion of mowing and the cemetery's portion of mowing, and then what it costs to maintain the cemetery comes out of the contractual services of the budget.
Oh, it's not coming out of ours now?
No, it comes out of mine. So if it's say it's $7,000 a year, then we would budget, we'd increase the contractual services from 20 to 27 to cover the cost of maintaining and mowing the cemeteries.
Okay.
What else do they mow besides the cemetery? Or cul-de-sac,
Cul-de-sacs, roadside strips,
warehouses?
firehouses, they do South-Hampton firehouse, there's quite a lot. And I think it's $13,000 a year now, and like I said, we don't have to go that way, it's just possibly maybe we go that way.
So the cemetery would be about half of their total.
Exactly. That's what I would think.
It belongs to us.
Yeah, it should come out of our budget.
Let's put an eye on it first.
Yeah.
It's always been incorporated into the grounds budget. Let's try to keep there, because if that number comes back at 12 or 13, we don't want to penalize. I don't want to penalize you guys, because then that's not fair. We can't expect to go to council and say, hey, we need $7,000 or $8,000 more, and then turn around and say, okay, we'll give you $7,000 or $8,000 more, especially where we're going to be going into next year's budget year. But let's get an eye, and then we'll come back and talk about it. As long as you guys are okay.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
all right, let's look into that. And we can determine what we're going to do. Okay, the neglected cemetery grant is up in December.
Jim Mahoney, we can't.
No, I'm sorry. It's the Jim Mahoney, sorry.
Is it 23? I thought it was December 20.
It was for 2 years.
I think it's been coming up. Double check on that.
Well, we can use that money to pay for the fence.
Yeah.
At Ledge.
Yeah, there's $3,707 in it, so we can use it for. We can use that for tree work. We can use that to do anything you want inside that cemetery, as long as it's beautifies the cemetery.
Right. Okay. So that'll be spent.
Do we have an estimate for the fence?
He is not getting this idea. Because he still can't find the black fence to match the other black fence.
Does he have anything close?
He was trying to go through a catalog, see if he can find something similar. But they're on desolate streets, so nobody's ever going to know that Denison looks different than Dunham. Or Dunham looks
Nobody's,
different.
yeah, as long as they're not next to each other, you're not gonna know. Yeah. And those people there aren't gonna complain anyways.
They do, I'm saying.
I'll take care of it. Okay, I'll entertain that motion now that Steve brought up to transfer $3,000 from contractual services to fencing.
So moved.
Second? Second. All in favor? Aye. Done. Okay, I have a question. Our Eagle Scout is almost done over at Ledge. What does he do? Does he have to come back to the town to say he's completed it? Does he get a proclamation from the town, or does he get nothing? He doesn't have to do anything.
No, because this is all being done for him to come to Eagle Scout.
Okay, so I have to sign his
Yes.
paperwork that he's completed the project.
Yes.
Okay. All right, that's
And then eventually what happened is he'll come in front of the council when he comes to Eagle Scout, and he's recognized at that point by the council.
Oh,
So
okay.
there is a proclamation done for his ceremony. And it's also done with his cars. Now it's
And the money under contractual services, if this gentleman that Risa found comes to work for us, we can put him into Ledge right away, and then that cemetery's done.
Yeah, that was my thinking as well.
Yeah. And even if we don't get the fence and we start to run close to the end of that grant, we can use that money to pay him. So we'd be in good shape. And then that cemetery's done.
Yeah.
And then we would probably move to either Christian Lane or Denison. You know, those are smaller. Beckley would be the biggest. Yeah. And Dunham, we still have money, like $14,000 at Dunham, that he could go in there and fix those up too. So we'll keep that guy busy.
Yeah. I will shoot him another email and see if he can make this meeting. How do you want to proceed if he they're
join
scheduling
by-
out pretty far.
So we can always join by Zoom, which I think we talked about.
Yeah, I had offered him the option, he said he's gonna get back to me, and I hadn't heard from him, and the meeting crept up on me, so I'll reach out to him again.
But I would think if he wants to work, then he has to.
Yeah.
make some kind of effort.
You think?
Yeah, like I said, as I understand, they're pretty booked. They are scheduling out several months.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Tell him we've got a lot of work.
Yes.
He's got several months of work here if he wants to do it. Okay. Anything else? Their new business. Anybody got any ideas or plans?
Our budget now, what happened to that this year?
It's gonna be the same thing.
Last month.
Yeah, 38 and change. Yep, and you know, like I said, we'll be, once all the fencing's done, that's our biggest expense. The tree trimming's pretty much done. There'll be some maintenance maybe, but keep this guy busy with stones for a year or two. You know, and then after that, we won't need as much money. And our project will be done. It'll just be maintaining it.
Yeah.
You know, you look where we started, like you said, and where we're gonna finish. And it'll be easy for people to take care of it after we're gone. So.
That's what me and Kate resigned.
That was what?
That's what we, Woody and I, so you guys can keep meeting. I move it down to.
If we're still here, God bless us.
I move it down to the Italian part.
Yeah. We can do that.
Now, we have one more item on the agenda, and that has to do with under the ordinance, the management.
Oh, the management funds.
So this is done by finance, for the, Jefferson County. And then it's sent to the Department of Finance and Town Council and to probate court. That's how you work. So it's on the council agenda for Tuesday night. It's under consent. You don't have to, this is now.
Can we change this?
Only have to, have a section.
How did we set it 48,000?
It's distinctive is 2,000 actually 7,000, which shows contractual services at 7,000 expenditures. And distinctive D is down as 2,000.
The expenditure is at $7,000 now.
Perfect, that works. That's good.
I'm sorry.
Oh, we're good.
Really question 7 to us.
So we actually spent $29,252. Am I reading this right?
That's our remaining budget. We spent $11,500.
So don't forget this, it takes in the other, this takes in the special.
We spent more of that than that's with the state did.
No, distinctive payment last year than I thought. We appropriated a large amount of money. We did not spend all. The expenditure details on the grand total. I looked at it online. That's exactly what we spent all the money on.
$11,521.
Yes.
All right, what's encumbrance?
That's the amount of money that's opened and is isolated to a certain PO.
That what?
That has been open to a PO. So we opened up $10,000 to distinctive, that money's already encumbered.
So there's still $29,000?
Yes, but that includes the Dunham and
Yeah, I see that. We can subtract them. Yeah, so that's another
It's 14. It's almost
14,294. So we're giving that back.
14,957 under the general fund.
Well, we thought we were going to get more fencing done, and that didn't happen. So we would spend that. Okay, well, we look good then. We got a lot of stuff done for this much money.
Right.
When you think about it, we got a whole lot done. Wow, give yourself a pat on the back. Beautiful.
Just something we might want to look into next year is just as I look at this is we might want to take maintenance and repair and lower that to maybe like a figure of like $1,500 and operating materials down to like $1,500, and then take those funds and put them into your fencing, which would boost your fencing up to where we want it to be this year, 10 grand. Because we can only transfer $5,000 a year from one account to the other.
Okay.
So if we find a year that we can really knock out all the fences, that comes in at like $9,800, we have to go to council and ask permission to transfer that amount. Unless charter changes.
Can I have a copy of that?
Well, I don't have a problem with the council, tell them what we're gonna do. The transfer money that they gave us already, well, Charlie, that's not a big deal.
They love us.
That's right.
Good job.
No. I got enough jobs. All right, well, that's cool. If nobody has anything else, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. Second evening. Mr. Benson seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Our next meeting will be on the 21st of July. And if Lisa can get that gentleman here or to zoom in or
I will.
bring us some examples of what he's done.
We're gonna get to look at the cemetery.
Yeah, even during the day.
Prior to
If
July
he can
1st.
come down during the day, I'll meet him. Dick will meet him. Steve will meet him.
I'll reach out to him, I'll talk about scheduling a visit, and invite him to the next meeting.
Yeah.
We just have to let you know 5 days ahead.
If you're gonna do a meeting. no.
If he's
No,
gonna
no,
come to the
if you're gonna do
meeting.
a meeting, like, you know, a couple of you meet, then it has to be at least 24-hour notice.
Okay.
I know, see, Charlie doesn't like the. Can I end this meeting?
Yes. Then we'll talk about